Alright, how you guys doing? This is CJ Sean here on my Charlie Hartman Animation Studios account, and today we're going to talk about Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Oh no, not the movies, the TV show, a TV show that no one asked for to be made into a TV show. This TV show. So I'm gonna be honest. Does it suck? Well, uh, I don't have nothing to say about this show. Oh wait, I do. This show seriously sucks. But let's go to the positive before I go to the negative. So number one, the voice actor that voices Tim Lockwood, he sounds a lot like James Chan whenever he voices Tim in the first two Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs movie. So I'm gonna give him credit for that because he sounds a lot like James Chan. I'm like, whoa, is that James Chan? Oh my god! But when I searched him up, I'm like, oh, that's a different actor. But he sounds a lot like James Chan. So I'm gonna give him credit. Um, that's my positives. That's my positive on the show, I gotta say. But does it suck other than that? Yes, it kinda sucks. Like the character design look awful. Like Flint, he looked like he gotten like plastic surgery on his fucking nose. Like you can't be this fucked up. And then Sam, she literally looks very ugly. Like why am I not surprised? Because this is a fucking prequel. This takes place before the first two movies, which I don't understand why can't, like, in my opinion, this show should have took place after the events of Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2. Why bother reboot it? Well, it's not a reboot, it's a prequel, but still, why bother reboot the important events just to go back to Flint Lockwood's lame, you know, high school life that no one gives a fuck about? Like, in reality, it's just, the show is just fucking awful. Literally, it's awful. There's nothing special about the show whatsoever. How come this terrible show gets like, like gets a second season? This show really sucks. The characters are out of character, and some ridiculous. The jokes aren't funny, and there's no Flint Sifford Toner, the thing Flint made to cause the thing. There was no action. There's just some boring dialogue about Flint Lockwood's life before he became a huge, celebrity. Before he, fucking, became the guy who, ruined Swallow Falls. We get to see the mayor before he became fat, so that's a good thing. Earl sounds a lot like Terry Crews when Terry voiced him in the second one. But in my opinion, the show should have taken place after Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2, like taking the events from the movie. Like, why bother just decide to make a prequel out of this? Like, no one gives a fuck about, Flint Lockwood's high school life. Nobody gives a fuck about him and Sam. Like, this is a horrible spinoff, and I don't see nothing good about it. The voice actors, like, don't fit the characters, except for Tim. He was good, because he sounds a lot like James Chan. Like I said just now, he sounds a lot like James Chan when he voiced the character. Except Tim Lockwood, all of them, and Earl. I like Earl's voice, too. Like, yeah, the only character that basically look alike from the movies is Tim Lockwood. He's the only one that looks the same from the first two movies. Everybody else look different. Flint himself, look at his fucking nose. His nose look like he got like a big plastic surgery on his big nose. Like, you can't be this fucked up. Like, seriously, why ruin a great spin-off? I mean, a great franchise. Like, we're all fine with the first two. Was this your plan, Sony? Because you didn't have plans for a third Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs movie, you decided to say, okay, fuck that. We have no idea what we're gonna do for a third one. Let's make a TV show. Like, did one of you guys even did no seriously? Did any of you guys ask ask this show? Did anyone ask for this show to be made? This franchise to be made into a show? Did anybody ask that? Because I sure as hell didn't. Because I enjoyed the first two movies. Like, I really did. They were going great. But until this one came out, I don't know what to say about the franchise now. It's just horrible. Like, the characters look nothing alike. It's just basically Sam and Flint show, not Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, because you have no Cloud and you have no Meatballs. So this is a horrible, horrible, horrible spinoff. This show is just like Planet Sheen. You take great characters and you fuck it up with your own show. No one gives a fuck what the title character does. And Flint's not funny. He's not funny in this. I don't like him. And none of the original voice cast that voiced these characters in the first two bother to reprise their roles. And I'm kind of glad they didn't, because this shit show needs to stop. Stop airing more Cloudy with a Chance. Well, granted, they're going to air more. I'm not saying don't cancel the show, but I'm saying at least try to make it better. Like, the first season was shit. I couldn't even get through an episode of the series because it was just so horrible. Like, there's nothing special about it whatsoever. Like, especially there was an episode where Flint says that if Sam moves away, he's going to, like, erase his mind. He erased her from his existence. That's like the stupidest shit I have ever heard in my entire life, because first of all, why in the first movie, how the fuck did Flint, because in the first movie Flint meets Sam when she, travels to, New York, because she lived in New York. She came to Swallow Falls. Flint met her in New York. But in this show, he meet her way before she became a news reporter. Can this be a possibility that this is before she moved to New York and before she became a news reporter? Well, granted, she's still a news reporter in this series. It just doesn't make sense. The timeline doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. This show is a mess. It is literally, like, I don't understand what is going on with this. The show is horrible. It's trying way too hard to be funny. It's just not. Like, all the characters are out of characters. Nothing great about that. And the writing is the worst part. And ever since that bullshit Flint said in that episode put me in a furious rage where I just want to boycott Sony Studios. Because I've been praying, because all the franchises that I love are always fucked. Like Bob the Builder, I love that. I love this franchise, but they fucked it up with the 2015 reboot. Powerpuff Girls, I love the original, but they fucked it up with the reboot. Teen Titans, Teen Titans is overrated, but they fucked it up with Teen Titans Go. With some of, I like Teen Titans Go a little bit, like not much. The show has flaws, but there are some episodes I did like from Teen Titans Go, much as the fourth wall episode, the fucking Night Begins to Shine episode. Those were my two favorite Teen Titans Go episodes. Other than that, they fucked it up with Teen Titans Go. And what else? What else of a franchise I love to get fucked? DC. I love DC. I love the TV shows, but they fucked up when they started the DCEU. Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. The cartoons, the live action, Tobey Maguire's version, Andrew Garfield's version, Tom Holland's version in Civil War. But for me, they fucked up with the Spider-Man character in Homecoming. And I love and as for the Hotel Transylvania series, I don't give a shit about that series. I'm being honest. I seen one episode. It was decent. It was okay. But the only thing I'm confused about is, okay, so if Mavis is a teenager and that's her friends, where the hell are their friend? Where the hell is her friends now? Since Mavis is a grown up, like it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. It just doesn't make sense. And Jimmy Neutron. I love Jimmy Neutron, the franchise, but they fucked up with Planet Sheen. Like all the franchises that I loved is it's just basically shit. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the '60s cartoons, the original movies, the 2014 version I did enjoy, but they fucked up with the 2018 new reboot that is coming out, which I'm going to talk about that next week, hopefully. But as for this show is just awful. It's just not good. The writing is a little off. The characters doesn't act anything like the characters at all. We don't get to see any cool stuff in this, and I'm just disappointed in this. Guys, I ranted long enough, and it's honestly a disappointing show. I'm not gonna watch anymore because I'm fed up talking about this show. Ever since this show came out, I was pissed off because I loved the franchise. I loved it, but they fucked it up with this, show, and it's not gonna go great. It's not great. It's just awful. Like this is just the most cash cow TV series I have ever seen. They're basically milking this, and it's just not great. So officially, I'm giving Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs a 1 out of 10 because it's just an awful show. It could be better, but I just wish they focused more on the events and the timeline on what happens after Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2. I would definitely want to see that in a series like this, but we didn't, so sucks.